YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching my videos. What's going on? What's going on? By the time you got to work. New house, what's going on? Congratulations, new house. You got your authority. How does it feel, man? Riding under your authority. Get all the money. New house get all the doggone money. My bad, y'all. I'm looking at this load. They got a load going to Wisconsin. $3,000. $3,000. But Subwoofer say, man, you don't go past PA. Um, it's not that I don't go to PA. I'm running a business. Like some of y'all are a trip. I don't go past PA not just because I don't go past PA. It's a business decision. So it's like, okay, why run a load all the way up to PA? I gotta pay expensive fuel prices. I gotta pay expensive road tax. I have to pay, um, and then I'm gonna get hit on the way back down. Cause usually when you'll get a banging load going up in the Northeast, and then you have a hard time getting the load back. You can get a decent rate coming back down, but it ain't gonna be the same rate that you got going up there. And it's hard to find parking. Um, it's a lot of BS you got to put up with. So why do that when I can run in the area that I know? I'm familiar with the area. That saves time and money. I know the truck stops. I have all the places. The places that I run often. I know the area where I'm running at. I have areas where if you run in the area that you run all the time, you know where to park at. You know which customers got parking. Um, I know where the fuel stops at. All that, all that comes into an effect when you're deciding where to run. And like, I know a lot of you guys, you still think like a company driver. You got to stop thinking like a company driver. Stop it. Stop thinking like a company driver. And like a lot of y'all have people dispatching you loads, and you just take whatever they give you instead of thinking like a business and thinking like, okay, how much profit I'm gonna do this week, today, this month, this year. A lot of y'all just want to run loads. You just see a load. Oh yeah, I'm gonna run that. Yeah, yeah. No, like I could find. I live in Georgia. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm gonna run and narrow down my running area and perfect that area. See? So that's that's just my opinion. Like a lot of guys, I talk to some guys, man, why you go home every weekend? Man, I wouldn't go home every weekend. Man, I would run all over the country, be trying to make all the money I can. But I mean, as you know, like when you running when you in trucking, like you don't want to exhaust yourself. You want to pace yourself. Okay, you want to pace yourself, and and you get out there running. You get out there running like a fool. You gonna forget about something. You gonna neglect something. Take your time and pace yourself, man. There's plenty of money out here. Just take your time and pace yourself. And it's like you get out here running like a fool. Like you're not gonna have time to step back and think like a business because you're busy working in the business. You know, it's like a lot of y'all stop thinking like a company driver. Stop it, man. Like y'all are a trip. Warn about running here and running. You know, like I talk to guys, and like they be boasting about how many miles they ran this week. Man, I ran 3,000 miles this week. I'm like, so I ran 1,500 miles this week. So I don't care how many miles you ran. You tell me you ran 3,000 miles. You basically telling me you tired as fuck. That's what you telling me. You tired. So um, like like yesterday, I ran a load. I ran a load for $1,000. That load went 130, 140 miles. I delivered that load. I did the video yesterday. And that video I did yesterday, I had like 5, 6 hours left on my clock. You know, um, so I mean, I could have ran another load. I could have. If I could have found another load running short like that, paying 7, 8, 900, I could have. But then I would have been tired. You know, I was already tired anyway because I had to get up early to get that appointment. But the point is, man, you know, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Like I don't like to go home every weekend, but I know that okay, I have to pace myself because I don't have a manager telling me. You know, like any of y'all have jobs, right? If you're an employee at a company, right, and you have a job, you have somebody telling you how long you can work, when you can work, what type of work are you doing. You got somebody handing you activities and assignments, right? Well, when you run in your own truck, you have to tell yourself, hey man, that's enough. That's enough. You did enough. You have to be your own manager and say, hey, yeah, you ran 8 hours today. Sit down. you know, go home. And like, you know, like I'm a hardworking dude, no doubt. Cause trucking demands hardworking people. There are no lazy people in trucking. That lazy people don't exist in trucking because having to drive a truck, either you local, over the road, regional, it don't matter. For somebody to drive a truck and be away from home and you working long hours, all kinds of weather, snow, rain, hurricanes, blizzards, the type of crap that truck drivers put up with, nasty environments. Yeah, you can't be lazy, man. Like you flatbed guys, you know what I'm talking about. Like you can't be a lazy person and be a flatbed driver. you, that don't exist. Um, Let me show y'all something. I'm at this place. I'm picking up a load of paper bales. I picked up a load of paper bales. Tony P did 4,500 with 1,000 miles. That's right. That's right. Um, Let me show y'all where I'm at. See this place here? See this place? I don't want to put this company logo on YouTube video, but see this place here? This is the kind of crap we got to put up. See this gravel lot? See this? It's, really dusty. It's hot. You should see the other side. It's a mess over there. Right? Trying to fix. Right? So, um, I get it. So I know some of y'all might think like I'm a, I'm a, uh, I'm a cupcake driver, cause what's the name? What's the name? He used to boast about getting home every weekend. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, can I ask you something? Have you been here before?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, you think, how did you come?
Oh, I came that way right there. Um,
Did you take Martin Luther King?
you know what? I don't even know the name of the street, but I know like when you turn left out of here, you go down the road. Um, I went out to the main road and I turned right, but I guess you're going back out. You gotta turn left, and I went down to that. It's like a railroad track, and you cross over the tracks or whatever.
Because I come over some railroad tracks, and I turn on that M Street. You know where there's some house trailers.
Right.
Uh,
I seen that on Google Maps, but I didn't take that way. I
but
kept going,
but
and I
but
turned.
but there's a stop sign like that is it's called Beach Street, but you turn into those house trailers
Right.
right there, and I went past that, and I seen M Street, and I made a right. But it's really I had to get all the way on the other side, and then to
Right.
to
That's
get
why I ain't go
down.
down there.
So
Yeah. If you turn left out of here, just keep going, and the road is gonna come to a light. The turn that you made, I think you turned to. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend taking the truck down there.
okay,
Past that road.
because I was kind of scared because my trailer, I mean I was empty, but my
Yeah.
trailer kind of got off in the
Yeah, you loaded
and I don't want
40,000.
to. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to have to
I don't want.
put your trailer in the ditch.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you just keep going, you're gonna come to a light, and it's a nice open intersection,
Okay. Okay.
and then you turn left,
Okay.
and then
Because I gotta go scale this out,
right,
and I'm going back up there to get on 20 East, and
right,
then go back to the Petra.
right. Yeah, I would just go to that light. I wouldn't even risk
Okay.
that.
All right. All right. Thanks.
All right, hold on, y'all. It's a company driver over here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to throw shade at the company drivers because that was a company driver too. But I can tell she's kind of new because she backed in next to me and she made me a little nervous because it's some things like any of you truck drivers, experienced truck drivers, you can spot a new driver a mile away. You can just it just how she was backing and just how she was working her truck just tells me like You just got your CDL last week. Uh, but hey, everybody's got to start somewhere. But yeah, this place it's like downtown, downtown Tuscaloosa, and yeah, it's hard to get in here. But my experience tells me I don't. I've been in this business long enough. I don't mess around uh, residential roads. I don't mess around with residential roads. So even if I have to go out of the way to get to a bigger road to come down on the big road, I don't risk it because it's not worth it. You know, you put your trailer in a ditch because you trying to go down this little road that you're not supposed to be down. You going through a residential neighborhood. Nope, don't do it. Don't do it. I I don't put my trailer in the ditch a couple times. I done that. Um, and I've gotten lucky to be able to get my trailer out of a ditch. So so she said she got to go and take her load, her truck to get it scaled. But you know, I got Apway on my truck. I don't need scales. So let me see. But you know, but let me see what y'all talking about. How's the Apway been doing? Working. As long as I come in with you know, I've been rolling across the scales, and it's been doing pretty good. So so uh, this what it is right here. I have to, cause the light keep. I have to angle it a certain way, so y'all can see it. Oh God, terrible. It's just the sunlight beaming in the truck. So, but yeah, it's I'm happy with it. I don't have to go to a doggone scale. You know, see what y'all talking about. But hey, but yeah. So truck drivers by nature, truck drivers by nature are not lazy people, and I mean, even still, like you know, I like my industry. I like my industry. I have a love hate relationship when it comes to trucking, and I mean, I feel very grateful to be in an industry that's so plentiful when it comes to employment. So I'm very happy with being in such an industry that's so plentiful when it comes to employment. So as long as I keep my license clean, I can pretty much get a job anywhere. When it boils down to it, I'm gonna have a job. You know, um, you know, um, the next generation of guys that's coming in, I don't know what that looks like for truck drivers because with all the technology, but um, right now, as I stand, like I'm very happy with being in such an industry that's so plentiful when it comes to employment. Because there's a lot of industries people invest training and invest their life in the industry where it's just a waste of time. I bumped into people that spent 50,000, $100,000 on training in a career, and that money went to waste, just complete waste, right? You go and get a degree or you get a certificate or get a license in a field where starting income is like 40, 50,000 a year. That just don't make no sense. You know, I don't bumped into people who went to school, you know, they got a job making $50,000 a year, but you spent 100, $200,000 on training, for your industry. It just don't make sense. It don't make sense at all. And to be in such an industry, a trade, because trucking is a trade, to be in such an industry where employment is so plentiful, I can get a job anywhere and make 50K a year. You know, 50K a year ain't a bunch of money, but for what I put into it, like I don't have student loan debt. I don't have $100,000 in debt that I can't write off, right? You know, I don't like I have debt, but most of the debt that I have is backed by something. Okay, I have a house, it's got debt on it, but I can sell the house and get rid of the debt, right? I have a car that's got debt on it. Well, I can sell the car, right? Uh, I have rental properties that's got debt on it. Well, just sell the rental properties and it's a wash, right? Debt free. I can be debt free easy. Got a trailer, it's got debt on it, but it's a trailer, right? But to like to go to truck driving school, I spent $3,000 to go to truck driving school. I spent $2,800 to go to truck driving school, right? I was looking at different types of industries to get into. I was looking at, going to school to be a mechanic, going to school for AC technician or a diesel mechanic, or I was looking at, schools to go to. All these prices of getting into these industries, getting the certificates and licenses to get into these industries. Like I was looking at a license to work excavators and heavy equipment license and whatnot, demolition and stuff like that. Those schools that you get training on some of that stuff, getting those industries is very expensive. To work those big booms with to work, on those big high-rise buildings and stuff, you got to have a license to work them damn things. Those guys make pretty good money working them, but the schools are like, I've seen them, they're like $50,000, but those guys are making 100K a year, you know. Um, I mean, you could learn how to run an excavator, if you know somebody that's got a business and they can hire you and train you. But just like a trucking, you can learn how to drive a truck and get into trucking. Somebody can show you how to drive a truck, and then you go and apply for your license and you get a job driving a truck. But um, I mean, just like being an auto mechanic, like I can work on cars. I know how to work on cars. I can charge people. I didn't go to school for that. That's just life experience. I have two uncles that are mechanics and stuff. So um, it, the point I'm making, man, truck drivers, you know, you just got to find a good industry to get into. And depending on who you are, if you want to get into trucking, just understand you can't be a lazy person. Because 1 minute you getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 minute you getting up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The schedule is all over the place, and you can't be scared to get in the rain to deliver the load. You ain't gonna make no money. You acting like a pussy, complaining about stuff. You can't do that. You can do it, but don't get mad because you ain't making no money. I get messages from guys. I get messages from guys. Um, they be asking me questions and stuff, and like I bumped into guys, you know, I I I can't see them making it. I can't see them making it in trucking, because it's like I'm trying to find my charger, put my phone on the charge. Uh, some number I don't know. Some number I don't know. It's probably a telemarketer. So, you know, and a lot of people, you know, the problem is that a lot of people, society has brainwashed people to do what they love rather than doing what's what's right and what's makes sense. And like a lot of folks, you know, folks just don't use their common sense. It's like, and doing okay, instead of doing what makes sense, folk end up doing what feels good at the time and what they think is okay rather than doing what makes sense. And society has just taught people just to that's not the wrong way to do it in this country. Maybe in socialized economies, socialized societies, maybe that'll work. But in a capitalistic society like America, you have to go where the money is and do what makes sense. So, for example, if you're going to invest 100 grand into an education, if you're going to invest 100 grand in some type of training, you better be making $1 million a year. You know what I mean? For that to be a good return on investment, you need to be a doctor. You need to be working for NASA. You need to be doing some groundbreaking work. You go and get a degree for 100,000. You spend $100,000 on this education, and you get a degree, and you a manager at Walmart. Not a smart move. Not a smart move. You know, and like so so But anyway, that's yeah. Like I say, man. Like and I think see society is just teaching us to just do what feels good and stuff like that. We go into debt for stupid reasons. We we put candy bars on credit cards. We put shoes on credit cards. We 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 you know we use debt excessively, really excessively, where we don't have to use debt. It's just we buying furniture on credit. We put furniture on credit, like we buy shoes on credit. Like I be talking to people, man. They went and they went and spent $20,000 to put furniture in their car, but they don't have 20,000. They put $20,000 on a credit card to buy some furniture, and you know instead of doing what's right and that what makes sense, we're doing what feels good, and then we get trapped, and you know and that's what's going on in America, man. We're not teaching people how to use their common sense, but we do what feels good. You know, it's it's in the schools, man. It's the schools are teaching folks just to do stupid stuff. We're raising an economy full of pussies, so to speak. We're raising an economy full of pussies, and instead of raising an economy full of hardworking people that do things that's right, we do things that feel good, and you know, we a bunch of people running around with this sense of entitlement, and think somebody owes them something just because they was born, think somebody owes them something because like, okay, if you only make $20,000 a year, you don't deserve. a $50,000 car. If you only make $20,000 a year, you don't deserve a Gucci bag. You don't deserve no Jordans. But people do it. You got people that make 10, 15, $20,000 a year blowing their money on stupid stuff. You don't deserve that because you don't make the money to pay for it, right? $20,000 a year barely gets you by. You barely can buy groceries with that. But, you know, but I'm rambling on, y'all. I'm rambling on. It's. William Parker say, how much them bells pay? I got this loaf for 1,500, man. I got this loaf for 1,500. Subwoofer say, you a smart driver. Short hops, less fuel burn, less road taxes. I be trying to tell guys, but you know, that I be trying to tell guys, you know, but you know, Milkman is a loyal, dedicated troll. I know, man. He is a loyal, he be on here trolling. Milkman, let me get 400. Society wants you to think your success is when you hire someone to do everything for you instead of learning and doing it yourself. College used to be very high-end education for select fields. Yeah, the college degree nowadays are the bachelor degree is like the new high school diploma from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Now, like you got everybody chasing around master's degrees, but um, there's a there's nothing wrong with getting formal uh, higher education. There's nothing wrong with that. But my problem is that folks are investing way too much of their life, way too much of their money on formal education, academic education, when the education you have, you could have just went to a state school and got you a bachelor's degree and for 20,000 on financial aid. Like, right? See what I'm saying? Like I went to I grew up in Florida. I went to a Florida State College in Florida, and when I was going, I think per semester my tuition was probably around 1,500 a semester. I lived with my auntie. I had a car. I didn't live on campus. Even if you lived on campus, that probably would have added another like 1,500 to your tuition if you live on campus and get on the meal voucher program. But to me, it didn't make sense. But I'm looking at the cost of higher education these days. It's just ridiculously high. Like, and the schools know it. You know, and like a lot of people, they don't do research on the type of field that they're going into. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be a dentist, right? Okay, try to find a good, reasonable dentistry school in your state. Don't go to an out of state school and pay uh, out of state tuition because you think the school has a good cafeteria. That don't make sense. I'm not going to the school for the cafeteria. I'm going to school for the education, man. I want the certificate saying I'm a dentist. Doesn't make sense. You know, like when I graduated high school, I was gonna go to Howard. I was gonna go to Howard. I was looking at schools and I'm trying to think. It was a bunch of schools I was looking at. Uh, I got accepted into Howard University, and in DC, right? And I was looking at the tuition. I remember the tuition was like, it was like 10 grand a semester. Immediately, I was like, man, that don't make sense. I'm not doing that. I did get a grant, but the grant only covered like half of it. I would have to come out of pocket like 5 grand. And I was like, man, no, I'm not going there. I just stay in Florida and go to this cheaper school for 2,000 a semester, right? My financial aid every semester was like about 5 or 6 thousand semester. I got a check after my books and all my other miscellaneous costs. I got like a $2,000 to $3,000 check every semester. It was crazy. And then once I started getting hip to the game, I started figuring out, like, my freshman year in college was terrible because I didn't know the game. I bought books brand new. I went to the bookstore for everything, right? And once I started getting hip to the game, I started figuring out, no, I don't have to go to the bookstore and get books. I can go online and buy books used. Or I can check, like, if you walking down the hallway on the bulletin board, they have people that's selling the old books, right? You can buy them books for 20 bucks, not 200. There's a lot of ways to save money on books. You know, you dropping $1,000 on books every semester. That's just not, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 on books every semester. Because you got 4 or 5 classes. Once you start getting hip to the game, you find ways to keep more of your financial aid money. So that's how I looked at it. When I was going in school, it was a business for me. I was a professional student. I went to school for the financial aid. I was a professional student. Okay. So, um, like, I had a job, but then when I was working, um, like, I was able to cut back my hours at work to get more financial aid money. So you would call me a professional student. I went to school for the financial aid check. So if you take summer classes, you get more money for taking summer classes. So, um, and then they got little scholarships and stuff like that. Like, if you write a paper, there are tons of scholarships you can apply for. So if you write a paper on some subject or whatever, submit the paper, like, you'll get $1,000 for writing a paper, 1,500. You can use that to buy books, and they cut you a check. It's cash. Okay, they cut you a check. It's cash. So, the point I'm trying to make, man, is like, either be trucking or any kind of industry, going to school or what have you. There are ways to get what you need while, not paying full price. And, like, some people, they overvalue life, right? They overvalue life and they spend a premium on life when you don't have to. It could be getting your hair done. It could be going on a trip, buying a truck, a house, shoes, putting down some flooring. Folk overprice stuff, and it don't have to be that expensive. You know, um, like, for example, I had to replace my air conditioner on my house. Um, I had to replace my air conditioner. Now, me being a do-it-yourselfer kind of guy, I'm really resourceful. So I had to replace the outside unit, the condenser outside, and the blower upstairs in the attic. You got the blower unit, it'll be a furnace or air handler or whatever the case may be. Those are the only two components that you have to replace. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, after looking at, okay, how much this stuff costs, this is the price I'm willing to pay. For the condenser outside, um, any of you guys know about AC, heating and air. There's a condenser outside, and then there's the blower unit upstairs when you have central air conditioning. The unit outside, you could probably pick one up for about 5 or 600. Depending on the place, you gotta have a license to buy one. But if you know somebody who 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 has a license, you can kind of do a deal with them. Say, hey man, can you go with me? I can buy this thing over here. You can buy a condenser online. You don't have to have a license. You can install your own heating and air system online. I looked at the parts. Once you get the parts, the condenser unit. Oh man, my phone going off. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching my videos. My phone shutting down. Oh, oh man, my bad, y'all. My phone my phone got hot for some reason. I got my phone. My phone was on the my phone is attached to the windshield. So, but let me finish this video. But yeah, so I know that when I was looking at the AC condenser, I went online. I could buy an AC condenser online. They got different models, right? Attic, you could probably get that for maybe another 800 to 1,000. So you probably good 1,500. Okay, you gotta get the line set. You gotta replace the line set and maybe a few other pieces. But the line set is the main component. So having to replace all that, I could replace I could replace I could replace my AC unit, my central AC system. Man, it's like all these. God. So I could replace my AC system for maybe about 15, 1600 um myself. So I'm thinking, okay, a reasonable amount that I would want to pay a guy to replace my AC system. I didn't want to spend no more than maybe 2,500. That was my price. I'm willing to pay somebody $1,000 to do the work because all the rest of it is labor. So I'm thinking like, okay, I'm shopping around. I had Lowe's come out to my house and give me a quote. Home Depot, they quoted me like 3,500 or something like that, 36, 3,700. I had Lowe's come out and give me a quote. They quoted me about 35, 3,600. So um I'm thinking like, okay, the company, when my house was built, there was a company that installed my AC system, and the name of the company is on the AC there's like a computer module in the garage. So the name of the company is on that little plate right there. So I called them up and I told them what's going on. I was like, hey, I just need to replace the condenser unit outside and that thing in the attic. That's all I need. And the line set. The lady gave me a quote. She was talking about, you know what? We can do it. We can do it at about 20. We can do it for about 2,800. I was like, deal. I was called by a whole bunch of other companies. They wanted three, four, $5,000. I've talked to some people. They spent five, six, seven, $8,000 to replace the AC unit. I'm like, that's a little high. That's a little high. To spend that kind of money on an AC unit, that is a little high because if you was to research some of these parts, the money that you're spending is all labor. And then on top of that, usually when you get in the five, six, seven, $8,000 range, that's pretty much you installing a brand new system. I'm talking about duct work. You running wires. You running. You cutting through walls and stuff like that. When you spending that kind of money, so I'm thinking like what the point of what I'm trying to say here is like, okay, like folk, you just gotta be careful on what you invest your time and your money into, you know. So like, either be trucking, getting an education, putting a new AC unit in, buying shoes, clothes, Jordans, going to the movies. Um, you got to be careful what you're spending your money on because we work hard for our money. We work hard for our money, and you want to be very careful on who and how you spend it and who you give it to. Just my opinion. But hey, um, I got to move my tandems, and I got to move my tandems. Shoot. Show y'all how to move my tandems. I'm a little heavy on the back end, so move tandems back a little bit. I'm probably gonna move it. I'll move it by two holes. See there? I'm gonna move it back. I'm gonna move it back one, two holes. That should that should give me a little bit of room to play with. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got now. Cause on the drives I got like 31,000 and On the trailer, I got it's like 33,000 and change. So let's see, one, two. Matter of fact, I'm gonna move it one more hole. That'll give me 250, 250. That'll give me about 750 pounds. Uh, that'll give me about 750 pounds on the drive. See, this is where we at now. So on the trailer, I got 33,537, and then uh, on the drive tires, I got 31,438. So um, on the bills, let me see, 76. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to. But yeah, this scale is a little off, but it's all right. We get down the road with it. So moving the tandems a little bit. That'll put me at, what's that? 31. So that'll put me at 32,000 on the drive. And then that'll put it at, it'll probably be about 32,000 on. Snag my damn headphones. But yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm gonna get going on this load, and you know, and get ready for the weekend. I'll be done. Get ready for Monday. But hey, I appreciate y'all watching my videos, man. I'll see y'all next time.